Today, we're going to continue our discussion of PRF, or the Pasture, Rangeland, Forage Insurance Policy. This is a policy that RMA has designed to help livestock producers preserve cash flow and to help buy feed for cattle or replace lost income from haying in times of low rainfall. To better understand how PRF works, we're going to walk you through a PRF quote. The first thing we have to do is find a location, tract, or ranch on a grid the RMA has produced. These grids are 17 by 12 miles long and cover the 48 contiguous states. To find the location of the grid, or a grid ID, we use the RMA's Pasture, Rangeland, Forage support tool. To find a specific grid ID, we go to the search bar and type the location, ranch, or tract in the search bar. For this example, we'll look for a location near Erickson, Nebraska. We type Erickson, Nebraska in the search bar, and we come up with the grid ID, 26226. We zoom in on the map, and it'll show us our location. These red rectangles are the outline of the grids. In this case, the grid contains both Erickson and Bartlett. We'll choose a location within this grid to look at. For our next step, we'll go to the RCIS quoting system, and we'll enter the appropriate data to get a quote. The crop year is 2021. The state is Nebraska. The county is Wheeler. The crop is pasture, rangeland, and forage. The plan is rainfall index. The type, we've got a choice between haying and grazing, and we'll choose grazing. The practice, or the level here, is the level we'll insure at. We've got a choice of between 70 and 90%. 100% is 100% of the normal rainfall, and they've gone back to 1948 to determine normal rainfall. The productivity factor is a factor used to set the level of insurance on each acre. We'll explain this further after we run the quote. We need to enter the grid ID we found earlier in the RMA website. We'll put in 26226, or the grid ID we found. The interval practice is the intervals that are available for us to choose. There are 2-month intervals: January, February, February, March, March, April. We have to choose at least 2 intervals in the year, and they cannot overlap. For instance, we can choose January, February, and March, April, but we cannot choose January, February, and February, March. The percent of value is the percent of the total value that we put on each interval. Here we've got 20% for each interval, and we'll leave it that way because it'll help us make a decision later on. But when we actually do our policy, we'll choose a percentage for each interval that we want, and the totals cannot be more than 100%. Next, we'll generate a report. This is the report we generated, and I'll take you through the values to explain what they are. The county base value is a value that the RMA has determined to be the average value of grazing land in Wheeler County. We can use a productivity factor to adjust the value up or down. In this case, we used a factor of 150 to raise the value to $30.51. The current line is the periods that were available: January, February, February, March, March, April, so on. And we allocated a value of 20% to each period. The producer premium is the premium you would pay based on this 20% figure for every period per acre for the year. In this case, for January, February, you would pay 58 cents per acre for the year 2021, and 66 cents per acre if you had chose February, March. If you chose August, September, you would pay 47 cents per acre. We've got a 20-year summary here. So the indemnity total is a total indemnity you would collect over the last 20 years, from 2001 through 2020. In this case, for January, February, you would have collected $20.48. In April, May, you would have collected $14.06. In September, you would have collected $18.82. And that's based on the 20% allocation for each period. The total premium you would have paid over that 20-year period would be $11.60 for January, February, which is less than the $20.48 you would have collected. In this case, you would have netted $8.88, or 177% of what you paid in premium. And that's true for almost every period of the year. May, June, you would have collected 198% of your premium. June, July, you'd have collected 200%. July, August is an exception. You'd only collected 98%. You can use these values to help you determine which periods you want to insure. The bottom section of this page is an historical analysis of what has happened in the last 20 years, between 2001 and 2020. For example, in January, February of 2020, you'd have received $1.47 in indemnity. In August, September, you'd have received $4.48. In September, October, $4.98. If we go back to 2012, in June, July, you'd received $4.68, and in August, September, $4.29. 2002, in January, February, would be $4.57, and June, July, $2.95. This is all data that you can use to help determine which periods you'd like to insure, based on historical data and also determined by which months of the year are most critical for your grazing. If you would like any more information, go to our website at midplainsag.com. Call us at 402-843-5342 or email us at info@midplains.com. Thank you for listening to our webinar.